Question for you out there in Inkblot Nation. What makes a TCG set actually worth opening up as opposed to just going and buying the handful of singles that you might want out of a set? Why, if I'm someone who's opening packs just to go after the high value cards, do I ever get my money's worth? Am I the exact person who should just buy singles? Yeah, that's the topic. That's what we're getting into today, Inkblot Faithful, is the difference between set value and set worth, and what I think some common behaviors that go into mistaking the two, and how it is we could probably avoid them. Because no matter the market conditions, even if packs were all available below MSRP, you're still going to want to know, is this going to be something that I'm going to have fun opening? You'd have options at that point. Which of these sets should I actually plunk my money down on and open up packs that I don't know what the hell's going to be inside? It's still nice to have some sort of standard that you're keeping when you're deciding whether or not it's even worth buying any packs of a set. Who cares what price, if it's above or below MSRP, if you don't care for 80+% of the cards that are in a set, it's probably not for you then. Too many people, I think, use the value of top chase cards. We'll get into it. It should be more of a question of worth of what you're getting out of that opening experience, if you ask me. And I think a lot of other people might make the mistake of just looking at the values of top chase cards and using that as a determining factor of whether or not it is worth it to buy and open up packs from a set. Because it's funny, in Pokemon, we all know how unlikely that chase is. Like in other TCGs, I don't know if Pokemon fans know this. They have what's called an expected value out of their cards or their packs. And that's what usually will determine a booster box price, is what on average you will get out of that box. Whereas in Pokemon, it seems like the opposite. There's like some sort of gambler's premium on just how unlikely it is that you would hit that top chase card that you really, really want. That's what's going to make the set so damn expensive. It's this weird inverse because of the gambler mentality that takes over for a lot of Pokemon fans. And I'm hoping that we can just rip responsibly, know how to enjoy a set, and then go, you know what, this thing kicked my ass, and maybe it's just time to just start buying some singles from this thing instead. But I want to use a couple of Pokemon sets to illustrate that, and then point out something really nice in Lorcana sets that makes collecting different subsets really easy. But no matter your preferred TCG, at some point you're going to be going, "Hey, is it worth it to actually open up packs from this set?" So I think it's a really crucial thing. No matter what game you're opening up packs for, you should ask yourself, "What is it that I get out of this at all?" Because that will guide you on just how much time and money you should spend on that set. Let me try. I'm going to share this little bad boy. Boom. So, like, here's a set I love, Twilight Masquerade, and I'm gonna look at like an ETB at $70 or a booster box here at 300. And then this is what a whole lot of people will do when they're looking at the strength of a set. I feel is we've got this filtered to just be the cards of this set, Twilight Masquerade, and then we have filtered it here from high to low, so that way we can see what the people are clamoring to spend their money on, or in this case, not clamoring. Right? Anyone who's pimping up like a Destin Rivals being the set of the generation is going to shit on a lot of these cards because they don't have that high dollar tag. But we're talking about like the top 10 cards that you and my ass aren't going to see anyway. We could do it with Destin Rivals too. Amazing cards. Now it's the sealed. Amazing cards here. But you and I both know that we're not hitting the fucking Mewtwo. We're not hitting you. You can hate on it, but that Crobat card goes hard. We're not hitting it anyway. So it becomes pretty easy to see how the assumption is made then that Destin Rivals would be the set that is worth it. If I'm going to plunk down, what is it, $130 for an ETB, I at least have several chances, is what the gambler mentality is going to tell you, at 100 or 90 plus dollar cards that are going to get me a really good chunk, even without grading, a really good chunk of my money back. Whereas if I'm my gambler mentality over on Twilight, I can't convince the gamblers to follow me here because they've got to spend $300 for a booster box on their two cards, 90 or above in this set. Again, are you going to hit any of these top 10 to 25 cards in either set? Realistically, no. When you go buy a handful of sleep packs of either one of these or crack an ETB of either one of these, you're probably going to get like a hyper rare. You're going to be like, oh man, it's this was my premium hit. This was my. So you better ask yourself, what out of the cards that you're guaranteed to see are you more likely to enjoy? So you can see how that switch happens, right? You go from a collector's mentality of, hey, is this set worth opening up? Am I going to have fun opening this set? To now going, am I going to be up on this transaction? Am I going to somehow hit the cardboard lottery to now have more money than I went into this transaction with? That to me doesn't sound like you're collecting. It doesn't sound like you're trying to get the most worth out of your purchase. You're looking to get the most monetary value back, which you're gambling at that point. And honestly, as long as you're doing it responsibly, I don't give a fuck. Just don't fucking lose your shirt over cardboard, people. If our initial question is, am I going to get my money's worth? It doesn't make sense to analyze the cards that we, either one of these sets, the cards that we are least likely to see. It would make much more sense to analyze the cards that you're most likely to see. And in the a case of what I want to analyze first, what you're kind of guaranteed to see. And let me explain what I mean by that. We'll stick with Twilight Masquerade. Again, I love all these cards. I don't care if you don't like the Ogre Pawns. I fucking love these dudes. I'm not going to hit them anyway. You know what I'm going to do? Is my ass is going to open up some cards and I'm going to see. This is why I like Twilight Masquerade, though, because I was going to say, I'm going to get Goofy Hat Greninja. And I'm like, oh, that card kind of goes hard, though. He's throwing like the Ninja Star. I'm going to get Goofy Hat Dragapult. Oh, wait, I kind of fucking like Dragapult. No, but otherwise, I'm gonna get, a Luxray I don't care a whole lot about. I'm gonna get Sui and Arcanine again. This is why I like these sets because that's kind of my dude. I'm gonna get a Heatran. I'm gonna get rares and double rares that I don't actually give a fuck about. And you better look through a set's rares and double rares is how I would sort when you're looking at if you're going to enjoy the pack opening experience. Because again, that back rarity slot, you're not going to get the ultra rares and up. You're most likely going to get double rares and down. So if you don't enjoy looking at least half of the that's the top chases at the rares and double rares for a Destined Rivals, then I don't care if it's MSRP. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to hit Olive Guy. I don't want to hit uh, Mastiff. I try to give a little bit more love to because I got a homie who likes him a lot. But like Snowball Guy, even when you get to like the Team Rocket cards, I feel like we're a disappointment because there's no Jesse and James. There's just so many things that when I open this set, I'm gonna go, oh man, I wish they had done more with that. Hydrapple, my dude got done dirty with this artwork. I'm gonna wish that I got more out of this set when I'm opening it than if I were to open up a Twilight Masquerade. That again, yeah, I'm not gonna get any of those hits, but instead I'm gonna get Screamtail, an ancient Pokemon who I fucking love. I'm gonna get Sinistra, which is a haunted thing of like tea in this motherfucker. Because remember, these are again in that back rarity slot. They're the card you're waiting on with bated breath, and you're kind of moving the reverse hollows out of the way. You better be happy with seeing what is most likely going to be on the other side of those reverse hollows. More so even than being in love with these things that are very unlikely to be in that second reverse hollow or in that SIR spot. Because you're not going to hit these cards. That's mathematically, it's very unlikely that you hit any one of these that you have your mind on. If you do have one specifically that you've got your eyes on. But after rares and double rares, I would then start to take into account the chases because if you hit a really rare card for that set and you have no love for it whatsoever, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to be like, is this even really worth it? Now I've got to put the work into finding a buyer for this card or getting a percentage lopped off because I'm going to go sell it to a shop, whatever it might be. You want to be happy with both of those. But one last thing I thought was really important for Pokemon before I do the little tip for Lorcana is this website that I'm going to put a link to, pkmncards.com. If anyone isn't familiar, they have their sets up in the top right. They also have, for any players, there's an advanced search where you can search with or for card text of particular phrases or words, and even to exclude particular phrases or words. Really great database, including what I like to use to look at full set arts. So it's again not something that you have to do like right away. Go look at the commons and uncommons. You better like those cards, motherfucker. But what you do want to do is find those commons, uncommons, anything that hadn't popped up on your radar yet for either Pokemon or artists or even just storytelling happening in a card that you really enjoy. Because again, you can instantly, there's a nice little jerky art on that Chimchar. You instantly, this, if I'm opening up Twilight Masquerade, getting this Chimchar in the reverse hollow slot, that is now a hit to me. That pack, even though it could have a hollow or a double rare that I don't fucking give a fuck about, if I had Chimchar in my reverse hollow slot, that pack was a hit. I'm happy with it because I went into that set with the expectation of not that value needed to be what provided me with fun, but these things that I really enjoy about Pokemon TC, maybe that would be the thing that's actually fun about opening up these packs. Another big reason I like to use PKMN cards is because it gives you the full set with no values or anything else blocking up, gumming up the works. You can just kind of get a feel for set theme or set mood, whatever environment the game designers are trying to set through that particular expansion. You'll notice though this illustrator spot here on PKMN cards, so that I can really quickly just at the click of a button, boom, bring up all the jerky art that I love that this artist has done since Scarlet Violet. I think that did they do any Minion? That would have been Sword Shield. Yeah, but that was Crown Zenith, so that was they've done mostly just Scarlet Violet. And yeah, really good track record on this website of actually like that's a big complaint I have with TCG Player is they don't always have the artist, and sometimes you'll click through onto that artist and not have cards that you know that motherfucker did. So you're like, well, this clearly isn't right. Um, so yeah, I like that you can actually with a very high degree of confidence know that all of that artist cards are included on this website's database. Whereas I just don't feel like with TCG Player that it's always accounted for correctly. Lastly, I mean, I guess if you're really still on the fence, you got two or three sets that you're kind of looking at, and you're like, I just don't know which one. Go on YouTube, go research the set and find pack openings. Because unless you really get an idea of the hit rate, maybe how that hollow pattern might look a little different in that set, whatever it might be that sets the mood and environment of that expansion. That'll be what'll give you the determining factor of, and does this even look like I would have fun opening these fucking packs? Because I don't know any of these Pokemon, or that's another thing. Gen 1ers and Gen 2 motherfuckers, even some of you from that were only Gen 3 and 4 and then left with the memes of Gen 5. Pick some new gens, motherfucker. Find some Pokemon from these new gens that you love that have some sort of characteristic, something that you love about the Pokemon from those first three. Because there's so many fucking peak Pokemon designs out there right now, and you will instantly have more cards that you will love and that you will want to build binder pages around. So now you're upping your fun level. You're getting more worth out of your card openings instead of just worrying about value and monetary. What could I sell this for? Bling, cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, it just annoys the fuck out of me. And to show you I'm not a total Destined Rivals hater, here's proof that I opened up some Destined Rivals. It was out of a Mega Lucario box. I've got the Megalocaria. I've got proof, but also proof that I am a hater of this set. Is I looked at this Team Rocket's Wheezing and I thought, man, what could have been? That could be Jesse and James looking up at Wheezing with nostalgia, just like I had nostalgia for. I don't know. I am a little bit of a Destin Rivals hater. Team Rocket Joey can come from my ass, but I think they just dropped the ball on that set so hard, and that it is, in my opinion, destined to be the biggest sentiment turnaround of the Scarlet Violet era. Is people will hate Destin Rivals a couple years from now. Calling my shot. And they're gonna love ancient and future Pokemon like I love. Because how are we turning our noses up at dinosaur and robot redesigns of some of our favorite Pokemon? Are you crazy? Are some of y'all fucking crazy? We got robots and we got dinosaur redesigns of some of the best fucking Salamence is already one of the coolest fucking Pokemon of all time. And then he gets this ballin' ass redesign, and his SIR is like $40. Give it to me. Give it to me all day. You're just wrong. You're all objectively wrong because you want this fucking Macy's Day float Mewtwo looking motherfucker. Yeah, I'm a hater. Fuck this set. It's not fucking worth this fucking. You know what it is? This card is this set. This Unori Nidoking. I need to stop ranting about. That ain't what you're here for. Now I'm just ranting. That ain't what you're here for. Lorcana, before you go, you need this little hint for you Lorcana fools who are just joining the fray. When you go to singles of any set, there's a filter for Lorcana down here near the bottom that is property. So when you actually pull up any particular set, you can see which properties were more heavily incorporated into that theme for that expansion. You could also do it the other way around. If you wanted to undo any of the sets, now you could go to property, and let's just say one that doesn't have a shit ton but has a good amount, like a DuckTales. Now we can see through the different sets into the Inkland. Anyone who isn't familiar with the set names wouldn't know, but right above the card number and the rarity is that set name. So now you could get an understanding of, I'm really going after DuckTales characters. I better go get Whispers in the Well. And it looks like what Raina Jafar might have been another one. Into the Inklands might have been when they were first introduced. So just an extra little tip: if you're looking for a really easy way to hop into Lorcana collecting, man, using that property filter on TCG Player is going to be a really quick way for you to just cut out all of the cards that you're probably just not as interested in and start collecting for the properties that you love. To get this mic on a stand. Oh, I guess I could switch out of this. I've got to just to show y'all I'm not bullshitting. We've got here temporal forces. I rip packs, y'all. And something I want to do with this series of Rip Responsibly is tips on how to best go about like making offers on eBay for people who have product that they're suddenly sweating like, oh God, I got the shit product, don't I? That you could suddenly get packs that you want promos of that are in the blister, or whatever it might be that they were trying to oversell for this shit, that it's with the cost of shipping you're getting for essentially MSRP. But hey, you know what, they got to feed them families too. You know what, so I'm not even gonna I ain't gonna trip. I ain't gonna be all high and mighty and above. Ooh, look at the Camilla art on the Bramblin. I don't know if people like Bramblin or not, but I really like stupid object Pokemon. I'm one of those people, so I really like Bramblin. I don't mind that hit at all. Ooh, like this Ekans in the reverse. How well does my camera pick up reverse hollows? Not bad, actually, for just a cheap little webcam. Skitty on that one. And then how about Morty's Conviction? Not the one with Gengar, of course. I need the value thing. Bling, 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 bling. I don't know. He looks pretty fucking cool to me. I'm just a sucker for textured cards, and I always will be. Something about when you can get the sheen off of the textured card too, and it's like not even it's almost like a negative of the image, not color wise, but like in the balance of like eyes and face. Love that kind of shit. It's mesmerizing. But bling bling bling. I don't know how much it's worth. Here's the real opening though. Desert Storm cards, baby. Gross set. Now, of course, we are still trying to pull the Dick Cheney rookie card. Which we got the Rumsfeld. It came out a little bit damaged. I don't think I'm gonna send it off for grading. But if we do get the Cheney in anything right now, PSA would be great. Ooh, the Tomahawk cruise missile. Got to have a good Tomahawk. I already have a play set, but obviously super playable in a lot of decks right now, so I got to get the Tomahawks. The National Security Act, that's going to be discarded pretty quickly coming up here. Ooh, Saddam Hussein, that's a good one. Not a rookie, though. Not a rookie, though. See who we got here. Noise, light, and litter discipline with the nerdiest GI you'll ever see on a trading card. Conserving energy as the intelligence file here. See, United Kingdom, and then our last card, Italy. We pulled Italy, y'all. Looks like we got, what is that, Venice? That's all canals and shit. Anyway, predominant religion is Roman Catholicism, so we now own the Holy Roman Catholic Church. It's pretty nice. I don't know if I can grade it. I don't know. Probably wouldn't. It's got some dinged up corners, but you know what? We do it for the love, and that's why we're here. We always remind you, of course, that TCGs can be whatever you make of them. They can be all about Morty's conviction, or they could be about Italy. You know. I don't think I have anything else. I love each and every one of you. Anyone who took the time to watch this fucking video, you're nuts. But I love you. And if you love me too, please tell other people about the channel. Leave like a comment and the like, because all that shit will get the algorithm buzzing on it. Um, I think that's it. All right, take it easy, y'all.